Mr. Trade Representative, are you aware that the tariffs have been paused?
I am, yes.
When were you made aware of that?
Well, I understood the decision was made a few minutes ago. It's
Sitting here,
under discussion.
Sitting here under discussion. So did you know that that this was under discussion, and why did you not include that as part of your opening remarks?
So typically what I don't do is divulge the contents of my discussions with
What are the
President.
details of the pause?
Well, my understanding is that because so many countries have decided not to retaliate, we're going to have about 90 days.
No, excuse me? China increased their tariffs on the United States. Trump blinked. What do you know about this pause? What are the details of it?
Well, the details, as I understand it, is that China continues to retaliate. Other countries didn't retaliate. The president 2 or 3 days ago said we wanted to negotiate with those countries that asked for meetings. That's what we're doing.
What are the details? How long is the pause? How many days? How many weeks?
I understand it's 90 days. I haven't spoken to the president since I've been
So the
in this
trade
hearing.
representative hasn't spoken to the president of the United States about a global reordering of trade.
Yes, I have. I've
And
just
yet
been in the hearing with you. So.
But yet he announced it on a tweet. WTF? Who's in charge?
The president of the United States is in charge.
And what do you know about those details?
Well, as I mentioned,
It looks like your boss just pulled the rug out from under you and paused the tariffs, the taxes on the American people. There's no strategy. You just found out 3 seconds ago, sitting here, we saw you.
we've been discussing a
If
variety
you
of
came
things.
here knowing that you were going to be turned off, that these tariffs were going to be turned off, why didn't you include that in your opening statement? Why didn't you reference that as part of your testimony?
Well, I don't disclose my conversations with the president.
After days of turmoil and the cratering of the stock market, President Trump issued a 90-day pause on all reciprocal tariffs on our trading partners except China. This is the Nicole Osei report. And while making that announcement, he jacked up the tariffs on China to 125%. He posted about it on Truth Social this morning, saying, in part, quote, "At some point, hopefully in the near future, China will realize that the days of ripping off the US and other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable." Now, China has vowed from the very beginning to fight this to the end. In fact, in the beginning of the trade war, it initially responded to Trump's tariffs by saying that it would hit the US with a matching 34% tax on US imports, and that was supposed to go into effect this week. Now, Trump has also claimed that his decision to pause the tariffs on about 60 plus countries is in response to foreign leaders wanting to negotiate. However, earlier this week, Trump said he would not consider a pause on any of the tariffs. He was unmovable then. And all this was happening while the markets were plummeting not even hours after the Liberation Day announcement that was last Wednesday. Now, it's important to remember that this is not just a rich person's problem. There are tons of pensions tied to everyday Americans, teachers, policemen, firefighters, things of that nature, who lost a lot of money during this time. We even heard from some GOP lawmakers this week who called on Trump to reverse course on the tariffs. We also heard from billionaire investor Bill Ackman, who endorsed Trump last year. He publicly called on Trump to pause the tariffs for at least 90 days due to the damage that it was causing. So after Trump's Truth Social post, the markets responded and the Dow jumped about 2,000 points. A lot of people were questioning why all of this chaos, the back and forth. Earlier, he was not going to move on those tariffs. Today, he's issued the 90-day pause. Here's U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent trying to explain what he calls Trump's strategy on these tariffs. He says it's part of a master plan. Take a look.
Successful negotiating strategy that President Trump implemented a week ago today. It has brought more than 75 countries forward to negotiate. It took great courage for him to stay the course until this moment. And what we have ended up with here, as I told everyone a week ago, they're in this very spot, do not retaliate and you will be rewarded. So every country in the world who wants to come and negotiate, we are willing to hear you. We're going to go down to a 10% baseline tariff for them, and China will be raised to 125 due to their insistence on escalation.
That was at the White House this morning, but I want to hear from you. Do you think Trump's decision to issue a 90-day pause on the tariffs was part of some master plan or more of the same chaos? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this kind of content, news, politics, and current trends, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.